Cary Grant, born Archibald Alexander Leach on January 18, 1904, in Bristol, England, remains one of the most enduring figures in cinematic history. With his debonair charm, impeccable comedic timing, and effortless charisma, Grant became the quintessential leading man of Hollywood's golden age. His career spanned over 3 decades, encompassing 76 films, including classics like North by Northwest, His Girl Friday, and The Philadelphia Story. Beyond the silver screen, Grant's life was a tapestry of personal triumphs, struggles, and reinvention, a journey from a working-class British boy to a global icon. This biography delves into his professional achievements. Archibald Leach's childhood in Bristol was far from glamorous. Born into a working-class family, he was the only surviving child of Elias James Leach, a tailor's presser, and Elsie Maria Leach. The Leach household was marked by financial strain and emotional turmoil. Elias was a heavy drinker, and Elsie suffered from mental health challenges, possibly depression, which strained their marriage. When Archie was 9, his mother disappeared from his life, a mystery that haunted him for decades. He was told she had gone to a seaside resort, but in reality, Elias had committed Elsie to a mental institution, a fact Archie wouldn't learn until his 30s. This abandonment left a deep emotional scar, shaping Grant's lifelong quest for stability and love. Raised by his father and later a stepmother, Archie found solace in the vibrant world of theater. At 14, he joined the Pender Troupe, a traveling acrobatic comedy act, after being expelled from school for sneaking into a girl's bathroom. The troupe's performances took him across England, honing his physical agility and stage presence, skills that would later define his screen persona. In 1920, at 16, Archie sailed to America with the troupe, performing on Broadway and falling in love with the energy of New York City. When the troupe returned to England, he stayed behind, determined to carve out a life in the new world. His early stage roles in shows like Golden Dawn and Boom Boom showcased his knack for light comedy and song and dance routines. It was during this time that he began refining his persona, adopting a mid-Atlantic accent that blended British crispness with American ease. By 1931, his stage success caught the eye of Hollywood scouts, and he signed a contract with Paramount Pictures. At the studio's insistence, Archibald Leach became Cary Grant, a name chosen for its alliterative appeal and sophisticated ring. Cary Grant's early Hollywood years were a proving ground. His first film, This Is the Night, 1932, featured him as a javelin-throwing Olympic athlete, a minor role that showcased his athleticism and charm. That same year, he appeared alongside Marlene Dietrich in Blonde Venus, catching audiences' attention with his suave demeanor. However, it was his role in She Done Him Wrong, 1933, opposite Mae West that marked his breakout. West famously quipped, "Come up and see me sometime," and Grant's chemistry with her made him a star. The film's success cemented his status as a leading man, though he chafed under Paramount's control, which often cast him in formulaic romantic roles. Grant's frustration with typecasting led him to freelance in the mid-1930s, a bold move in an era dominated by studio contracts. This independence allowed him to choose roles that showcased his versatility. In 1937, he starred in Topper, a supernatural comedy that highlighted his knack for physical comedy and witty banter. That same year, The Awful Truth paired him with Irene Dunne, establishing him as a master of screwball comedy. His ability to blend sophistication with self-deprecating humor became his trademark, earning him critical and commercial success. The 1940s were Grant's golden era. In The Philadelphia Story, 1940, he played C.K. Dexter Haven, a charming ex-husband navigating a love triangle with Katharine Hepburn and James Stewart. The film, a critical and box office hit, earned Grant his first Oscar nomination. He followed it with His Girl Friday, 1940, a rapid-fire comedy where he sparred with Rosalind Russell as a newspaper editor, trying to win back his ex-wife. These roles solidified Grant's image as the ideal romantic lead. Grant's collaboration with Alfred Hitchcock elevated him to new heights. Their first film together, Suspicion, 1941, cast Grant against type as a potentially murderous husband, showcasing his dramatic range. Notorious, 1946, paired him with Ingrid Bergman in a tense spy thriller, while To Catch a Thief, 1955, saw him as a reformed cat burglar opposite Grace Kelly. Their masterpiece, North by Northwest, 1959, featured Grant as Roger Thornhill, an ad executive mistaken for a spy. The film's iconic crop duster chase and Mount Rushmore climax remain cinematic landmarks, with Grant's cool-headed charm anchoring the suspense. Behind the polished facade, Cary Grant's personal life was a complex mosaic of joy and heartache. His quest for love led to 5 marriages, each reflecting his deep desire for connection and stability. His first marriage, to actress Virginia Cherrill in 1934, ended after a year amid allegations of Grant's controlling behavior, a charge that dogged him in later relationships. In 1942, he married Barbara Hutton, one of the world's richest women, dubbed the poor little rich girl. Their union was marred by public scrutiny and mutual insecurities. Grant refused to benefit from Hutton's wealth, insisting on financial independence. They divorced in 1945, remaining friends. Grant's third marriage, to actress Betsy Drake in 1949, was his longest lasting until 1962. Drake introduced him to therapy and LSD, which Grant used under medical supervision to confront his emotional wounds, particularly his mother's abandonment. He credited these sessions with helping him find inner peace, though his openness about LSD use raised eyebrows in conservative Hollywood. His fourth marriage, to actress Diane Cannon in 1965, produced his only child, Jennifer Grant, born in 1966. Grant doted on Jennifer, retiring from acting at 62 to focus on fatherhood. However, his marriage to Cannon ended in 1968, with Cannon citing emotional abuse, though Grant denied the claims. In 1981, Grant married Barbara Harris, a British publicist 47 years his junior. Harris brought joy to his later years, and their marriage lasted until his death in 1986. Grant's relationships were often tumultuous, shaped by his fear of abandonment and perfectionist tendencies. Yet those close to him, including Jennifer, described him as warm and generous, with a playful side that contrasted his suave image. Fatherhood was Grant's greatest joy. Jennifer recalled him as a hands-on dad who read her bedtime stories and taught her to swim. He kept a scrapbook of her milestones, a testament to his devotion. His decision to retire for Jennifer underscored his desire to break the cycle of absentee parenting he'd experienced. One of the most intriguing chapters in Cary Grant's life involves a persistent rumor that he was a British spy during World War II. The story, fueled by his friendship with British intelligence operatives and his Hollywood connections, has been debated for decades. While no definitive evidence confirms Grant as a spy, a lesser-known but verified incident from the war years sheds light on his patriotism and courage. In 1942, Grant was approached by the Office of Strategic Services, the precursor to the CIA, to assist in monitoring Hollywood figures suspected of Nazi sympathies. Grant, a proud American citizen since 1942, agreed to help. One individual under scrutiny was a prominent European actor whose name remains redacted in declassified documents, who frequented Hollywood social circles. Grant, leveraging his charm and access, attended parties and gatherings where the actor was present, discreetly observing his interactions and reporting back to OSS contacts. The operation was low-key, and Grant's involvement was never publicized during his lifetime. According to declassified OSS records, his contributions helped identify a small network of Nazi sympathizers, though no major espionage ring was uncovered. Grant's role was minor but significant, reflecting his commitment to his adopted country. He never spoke publicly about the experience, likely due to its sensitive nature. But friends like David Niven later hinted at Grant's quiet wartime efforts. This story, while not as sensational as the spy rumors, reveals a side of Grant rarely seen, a man willing to serve behind the scenes, using his fame for a greater cause. Cary Grant retired from acting in 1966 after Walk Don't Run, choosing family over fame. In his later years, he became a successful businessman, serving on the board of Fabergé and MGM. He also embarked on a one-man show, A Conversation with Cary Grant, where he toured U.S. cities, sharing stories and answering audience questions. These events revealed his humility and gratitude, endearing him to new generations. On November 29, 1986. Grant suffered a massive stroke while preparing for a performance in Davenport, Iowa. He died that night at 82, with Barbara by his side. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy endures. Grant's films remain timeless, celebrated for their wit, elegance, and emotional depth. He received an honorary Oscar in 1970 for his contributions to cinema, a belated recognition of his impact. As he once said, "Everyone wants to be Cary Grant. Even I want to be Cary Grant." His legacy ensures he'll always be just that,